begin. So till last class, we were discussing with respect to data, how the data could be represented based on what type of data it is, what are the different primitive procedures which we could use. So those were the things which we were discussing till last class. Before that, we have started discussing with respect to how the procedures, how do we define the procedures, how we can make use of the procedures, and how we can return a procedure, as well as how we can pass a procedure as an argument. So that was the initial first chapter what we have discussed. So in second chapter, we were completely dealing with respect to data. So there are two different types of data. So it could be a single data or it could be multiple data. Then what is the syntax and what are the primitive procedures required for it? Similarly, if your data is a character, that is a symbol, how the symbol would be represented, and what are the primitive procedures which are supports for this symbolic data. And mostly all the examples, whatever we have taken, it's based on the mathematical operations. Okay, moving on with the next topic. Along with that data, we have, there are certain situations where the one particular data could be represented in multiple forms. So when you come across those type of situations, how we have to deal with such situations. So that is the last topic which we have discussed in last two classes. So moving on with the next topic, that is the modularity. So modularity, it's how we are going to in this particular chapter, we shall see like how different modules are being represented in terms of memory, how it is located, and how the values, how we can access it. Similarly, we will be discussing with respect to how do we create an object, as well as if you have to change the value for a particular variable, how it could be changed. That is how the assignment operator could be used. So these are the things which we are going to cover in this particular chapter. So starting with how the objects. So you know how we see what is the purpose of this object, and what is the why we require it. So when we say objects, why we are saying it to be as an object? Because as if from a human perspective, when we are discussing a problem statement, it will be easy to visualize a particular thing in terms of object. Right. Say, for example, if you are defining or writing a procedure with respect to a car or something, so you have some kind of picture. So based on that, you can imagine, as well as you can create a few more objects with respect to it, with respect to that particular cases. Say, for example, like when you're building some kind of sensors and all, you can describe with respect to each and every locations, or based on what type of action it is doing. So it is easy for from the user point of view to describe with respect to the objects for visualization purpose, as well as we can understand its behavior. Okay, so based on from one time to an from when it moves from one state to another state, how it changes, how the object changes, how its behavior changes, all these things we can visualize it. So that is the reason why it is easy for why we have to go ahead with respect to the objects part. Similarly, at the end of this chapter, we shall describe with respect to the streams. So streams, it's nothing but it's just based on the flow of information. So in this flow of information, if you are having, see here I'm saying it to be as an information. Information means it could be a huge one. So that is the data, whatever you have, it could be a huge one. So when we are dealing with such a huge data, how we can eliminate certain contents, how we can jump to that particular location, or how we can move on. So what are the supporting procedures which we have to use? So that is what we will be discussing in terms of in place of the streams. So initially, let's start with seeing with respect to the objects. So before going with the objects, first let us see how the assignment statements work. So when we are saying assignment statement, it's nothing but if you are having a particular variable, that means if you have declared a particular variable, or assigned a variable with some particular value. Later, if you want to upgrade it, that is, later you want to scale it, scale that particular same variable with respect to some other values. Then we have to, the syntax what we use is set followed by exclamation. That is exclamation. Okay, I just took it from the textbook, so it is little blurred, I think. So this is nothing but it will be set. The syntax what we use is set, S-E-T, followed by exclamation.
Ma'am, are you sharing your screen, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm sharing it.
Is it? I think my internet or like, is it seen anyone from the meeting? Is screen shared?
It's visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Oh,
It's me.
okay, ma'am.
So set exclamation is the one which we have, which is the syntax which we use it. So set exclamation followed by which variable name we use. So the variable name followed by the new value what you are going to set it. So this new value, it could be some expression or it could be directly a value. So this is how we have to use the assignment statement. How is this, why we can't go ahead with this define? So how is this set different from define? So when do we when we have to use define? So when we use define, that is like whenever you are creating, that is whenever, how many ever times you are using this define statement for creating a variable, it is you are creating a variable. That means you are giving a new location for that particular variable. So whenever you are using this terminology define, it allocates a new location in the memory. But that same thing you can't use it if you have to update the same variable for the next times. So we can't go with define statement. So then which statement you can use is, that is, say for example, I variable you have initialized it with value 5. Later, each time you are executing a loop, and each time it has to be updated, incremented by 1, something like that. Then if it was in the function call, then fine, it will be done. Each time you call a particular function, it will be you keep updating it. Other than that function call, if you have to use it internally, then you can go with this set. It's not preferred going with define. So set exclamation, it's like same as your assignment operator. That is like I is equals to I plus 1, something like that. But that it should be incremented or decremented by how much value it is, that you can mention it with what is the new value that you can specify. So similar to this, if you are having multiple statements, if you want to make it to multiple statements has to be brought under one single, it has to be made to be as a single block. Then the other syntax which we have to, which you can use is begin. So put all the expressions or all the statements together inside begin. So begin, expression 1, expression 2, so on up to how many statements you are having, all the statements or all the expressions you can put within the within this begin, and close this bracket. So it becomes like a block. That is like in C, when you, if in C or C++, when I say it is something like opening the curly braces and closing the curly braces. So that same effect you will be having it when you are using this begin. Okay, so these are the two syntax which you have, which we shall see from now onwards. So taking one example with respect to for seeing the how the set works. So with respect to the banking concept, that is withdrawal procedure, we shall discuss. So we have defined a variable called balance. So I have defined, say balance, BAL is the variable name what I have created. I have initialized it with the value 100. And then I have started defining a procedure called withdraw by asking how much amount I want to withdraw. Within this, I have just given a condition, because it can't keep withdrawing the amount once it reaches to the minimum balance, right? So you can set the minimum balance, but here I haven't set anything. I'm expecting it should not cross beyond whatever value, that is, it should not, the amount should not be more than the balance whatever you have. So just that condition I have mentioned, that is greater than or equal to, the balance should be greater than or equal to amount. If that is the case, then only you can reduce the amount. Otherwise, that is, then only you can withdraw it. Otherwise, you can't withdraw. So if this condition is satisfied, what I am supposed to do? I have to withdraw, I have to reduce the amount from the balance. So the expression what I will be using is minus balance amount. And this whatever expression I have applied, that is whatever value I have reduced, that should be applied onto the balance variable. So I will be using the set exclamation, which is considered to be as an assignment statement, where the balance will be updated with the new value. Initially it was 100. Based on the amount, whatever I pass, based on that, the balance will be updated with new value. So since I have used set, it is like an assignment. So the variable balance, whatever I use, it will be nothing but the same balance. So if you see this if statement, once this is done, what I have to do, I have to return the balance value. Otherwise, what will happen? It will just assign with the balance with the new value, and it will just keep quiet. That just assignment will happen. But once we have done with the withdrawal, you have to return the new balance value, right? So that means since I am going with this if statement, the syntax what I'm using is if syntax. When I see the if syntax, if can have only true expression, that is only one true expression and one false expression. It cannot have more than one true expression or more than one false expressions, right? So here, but if you see here in this particular statement, I have to set this balance and I have to return the balance value. So I have two expressions here. So if I have to make it to be as a one block, I will be using a begin statement. So I will put this set operation, that is the assignment operator, as well as the balance value which I have to return. These two are my expressions. I have to make it to be as a single block. For that, I will be using begin. So begin statement is used for making it to be as the block. Or in other terms, with respect to other programming languages, it is nothing but putting it to be as like a curly braces. Opening and closing curly braces. Okay, if this condition is not satisfied, then what happens? I have to just say you can't withdraw the amount. So and it's not an error message and all. It's just a message which you are informing the user. So either you can make use of display statement or directly you can just return this string. So here I didn't use any display statement. I am directly returning this particular string. So insufficient balance within double quotes. This comes for the false expression. Let's see how when we call the procedure, what happens. So withdraw of 100, withdraw of 10. So balance is set to be as 100. So 100 minus 10, which will be nothing but 90. Once again, withdraw of 20. So that means next time when I'm calling, what happens? What will be my output now? So again, I'm calling this withdraw procedure. Now, now it will be like already you have reset the value to from 100 to 90. So 90 minus 20 will happen, which will return it to be as 70. Next time again when you call, now your balance has been modified to 70 because it is an assignment statement happening. So 100 has been modified to 90. 90, whatever you had, that has been overwritten with the value 70. Now 70 minus 25, you will be getting it to be as 45. So now when you ask withdraw of 60, so 60 means which will be nothing but it is a balance whatever you have is 45 right now. So balance is less than the amount what you have to withdraw. So it will not let you withdraw. Instead, it will just return this particular string, insufficient balance. Now if I ask withdraw of 10, now from 45 it will be withdrawing and the value what you will get is 35. So by using the set operator, that is the set exclamation, it is the same variable, whatever we have created, whatever we have defined, that same variable will keep updating. Okay. So two new syntax we have studied. One is the set exclamation, and if you have to make it to be as a block, multiple statements has to be put together, then you can go ahead with the begin. Okay, moving on let us see with respect to what are the different ways. So now if you define this procedure in this way, what happens? If you see here, the balance has to be set as a global variable, right? So that means whenever a variable is a global variable, by using this withdraw procedure, I can modify. Similarly, by using any other procedures, I can update this variable balance. I can modify the value of this variable balance, right? That means whenever it's in a global variable, it's not safe enough to use it, right? So better what we have to do. It is better if you can make it to be as a local variable. Then how we can make it to be as a local variable? So when we go in terms of thinking to make it to be as a little more secure part, then how we can rewrite this procedure? What I have done here is I have made a slight modification here so that I can bring this balance into the procedure. So what I have done is I have defined a variable called new withdraw. I just mentioned it to be as new with, which is new withdraw, where I'm making use of a let statement. I'm initializing the variable balance. Whenever we use let, it will become like a local variable, right? So balance has been initialized with 100. Okay. And then I'm using a lambda procedure, nameless procedure, lambda procedure, where I'm asking the user to pass the value for amount. And then this portion remains same. So only small change what I have done is I have made the balance variable. My intention is when it is a global variable, it is not safe to anyone from outside this procedure. Anyone else also can access this variable, and it could be modified. So to make it to be as a local variable, how we can do it? So one way what I have done is I have just made it to be as, by using this let statement, I have assigned this entire thing, that is the let procedure, and inside the let procedure I have returned it to be as a lambda procedure, and entire thing I have assigned it to the variable name new withdraw. Okay, this is a variable name, it's not a procedure. So define new withdraw. So this name is going to have, whenever I'm using this new withdraw, what happens? It will just assign, let would be happening, and let is a local assignment part. So let will assign, first time when you call, let will be assigned with the variable balance with the value 100. And then what it does, it returns this complete lambda procedure. Okay, you're getting my point? Whenever I'm calling this new withdraw, if you see the definition of the procedure, we have let followed by the, as a body of this let, we have the lambda. So what happens first time when we are calling this new withdraw, and inside this we also have a set being used. So what it does is, this let will be happening only once. So balance will be assigned with the value 100, and it will return the value lambda, that is the lambda procedure will be returned. So how I have to pass the value, that is how I have to call it. So whenever I say new withdraw, internally balance in the memory location, the balance will be set to 100. First time whenever you are calling it. So balance will be set to 100. And what happens? This new withdraw will be having this entire lambda procedure. So wherever we have made use of this new withdraw, it will be replaced with lambda of amount complete thing. So lambda of amount part will come, complete other things will be there. Complete body of your lambda will be mentioned. So this is what will be returned whenever we call this new withdraw. So how I have to call this procedure, how I can pass this argument for amount, how we can do it. For this, whenever I use this new withdraw, this entire lambda is going to be replaced. So I'll put one more bracket and I will say the whatever value I have, that will be passed here. So this value, whatever I am passing, that will be shared, that will be taken by this amount. So if you see, whenever I use new withdraw, this entire lambda procedure will be replaced. And how the brackets will be? So you have one more bracket outside and the value 5 outside. So this becomes the procedure call for the lambda. So amount will be getting the value 5 and it executes the body of the lambda. So inside lambda, what do we have? It will check whether the balance is greater than or equal to amount. For the first time when we are calling, it will be the balance will be set to be as 100. 100 is greater than amount. It satisfies the condition. So it will let you withdraw the amount. So 100 minus 5 will happen. So it will become like 95. 95 will be the value which it is going to return. Okay. So next, let us see
Ma'am,
from here. Yeah.
like you said, like balance will be not resetting every time, no, ma'am. Why exactly? Because withdraw is getting called every time, no, ma'am. So every time balance must be set to 100, no, ma'am.
No. Whenever we are using this let, it will be it works like a local part. And on top, we have used here the set assignment operator also. So this balance will be it's not a global variable. So it will be it will be assigned only allocated only once. It will
Okay.
directly start executing with the body of it.
Okay, ma'am.
That is the highlight over here. Okay, even though when we are saying that is what I'm saying, whenever we new withdraw is having the let part, it will just assign it only once. Assign that is this portion will be working only once. It will directly start executing with respect to the body of its let part. So whenever first time when you call this new withdraw, it will assign the balance with 100, and then it will return this entire body of the let. What is body of the let? Which is lambda of amount. So it will just allocate. So for calling, we have to pass the amount value. So how do we pass the amount value? It will be nothing but we will have an other bracket opened and we'll have the value 10 passed here. So this 10 will be taken up by this amount and it does the execution here and it returns 90. Next time when you are calling this new withdraw, since the balance has been already allocated, we have already assigned, so it will not once again start with this let part. It will return directly the lambda part. And it checks the balance is 90, so 90 is greater than or equal to 20. Yes, so it let you reduce the amount. So it goes on like that.
Ma'am, if we use define inside the new with also, we cannot define more than once, right? So
I
define
didn't get
x100,
define.
x as 100 inside the new with function.
Define new with after that define
X to be 100, I'm balance to be 100.
balance to be 100.
And we cannot define more than once, right?
You can define, but then what happens is like it keeps creating new values, new locations. You will then what happens is like you keep creating new variables, new balance each time. Each time you call this
Ma'am,
new withdraw.
generally, no, ma'am, like in the Python or C language, if we declare x once, we cannot declare it every time. So int x equals to 2 and int x equals to 3, we cannot do, no, ma'am, again and again. But here, integer definition is like define, no, ma'am. So here you are telling that define x or balance 100 multiple times is possible. Like just that the location will be different.
We are not multiple times we are not defining it here, right? I never defined balance 100, defined balance 200. I didn't do that.
Ma'am.
I'm saying
Yes,
when we
ma'am.
are calling it, if you are using define, what happens is the memory location, only once the memory will be allocated. Okay, if you are using this terminology instead of set, if you are using define inside, instead of using set exclamation, that is instead of this part, if you are using define itself here, what happens is each time you use define, new memory location will be created. It won't be the same balance what you will be
Yes,
using.
ma'am. Error is coming, ma'am. Identifier already defined. So I just tried. Like if we with the same name, if we do means like already if we have done balance defined balance, and if we are doing again means actually I didn't try inside the function. I just did define 100, define balance 20, and for that error is coming, ma'am.
That is what I was telling. No. If you,
Ma'am,
if you
we thought
see our
new
intent,
memory will be
see what is our
allocated, but
intention?
then same
What
names
is
are
our
allowed as
intention?
well.
What is the intention? Whenever we use define statement, it creates tries to create a new location for it, right? How do I say?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
See, if I have, if you are using this outside itself, if you are using define some variable x, say x to be as some 20, okay. If I have to update the same x variable with some value, that is I have to keep incrementing my x value each time I keep changing it, or if I'm using a particular function, I have to keep changing my x value. For in such situations, if I'm using this define itself, when do we use this define? When we have to create a new variable, that is the new location has to be allocated for it. But if we have to assign, if we have to keep updating the same value, same variable again and again with each time I keep calling it. Say for example, like you are running a for loop. Inside for loop, you are having int I equals 0, I greater than or equal to 10, I plus plus. What is happening there? Your even though the syntax is like this, your definition part, that is I equals to 0, will happen only once, right? That assignment part will be happening only once. That is, you are allocating a new memory, that is int I is equals to 0. That I will be given a location only once. And after that, each time you are running that loop, it will just check the condition as well as the increment part. So in the increment part, whenever you are using this I equals I plus 1, I equals to I plus 1, whenever you are doing, it access that particular location content. So the same effect here also. We cannot use the statement define here. Why? Because when we are using this define, see, you can't write like for I is equals to 0, I less than 10, int I plus plus. You will not write like that, right? Why you are not writing like that? Whenever you are using this data type, what it happens? You are creating a new location for it. Right, the same effect is here also. Whenever you are using this term define, it is creating a new location. It is trying to create a new location for it. So we cannot use the statement define here. So we can, which statement will help us do is, we can use only set exclamation. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, I had a doubt. Like here, in the let, say we are saying now balance is 100, and then like the first time, for the first time we make balance. I mean, define balance is 100, and then we are reducing the balance value in the that set statement. Say balance 20 means, I mean, withdraw 20 means it'll become balance will become 80. Now when I come back the next time, like next time with new with say withdraw 10, how is it knowing that it's the same balance that I'm referring to? Like the let part is, I mean, there's no definition definitely. So this lambda function is there inside this new width. Like how is it knowing it's the same balance we are referring to?
How is it knowing is because this new withdraw is an object that is a name given to it. So this new withdraw will be is pointed to this particular balance itself. That is,
Ma'am, we can take it as like static variable, no, ma'am? Like let as a static declaration.
static declaration. Yeah, we
Static
can say
means
that.
only once it will be like for a one program, only once it will get initialized, and every time we call the function, it will just continue from there onwards.
Yes. Yeah, you can say that. It's like a static variable, you can say. Yeah. So what happens is new withdraw you are saying. So whatever variable name you are given, that new withdraw is we have a balance. It's a variable used which has been assigned with the value 100 for the first time. Okay. So since it is the balance is a new first time whenever we create, it is creating a new location. So new withdraw, that is also a new one variable name. So I have created a new location for it. What this new variable is having? New variable, first it created a balance with the value 100. Okay. By using this arrow, I am accessing. That is like an inherited concept, inheritance concept. Okay, so whenever this new withdraw is trying to access the balance, this particular location only has been allocated for it. And what this new withdraw will have, it access whenever you say balance, this balance, whatever at this particular location, whatever this is the balance, only it will be accessed. And what is this new withdraw having? It will be having a lambda. It's a procedure. So lambda of amount, complete details. Remaining complete thing. I'm just putting dots. Complete thing will be there. Agree?
Yes.
So see, new withdraw is a variable name. It's not a procedure. It's a variable name. By using let, what I'm doing, I'm first creating all the variables. So what is the variable I'm creating? It's a balance. And since it is it's like a local one. That's the reason why I didn't write balance along with the new withdraw. I didn't write like that. I have written it to be as a separate one. Why? Because it's a local variable. And who can access it? Only this new withdraw can access it. So that's why by using this arrow, we have pointed it. Okay. And what this new withdraw is having, it's just having the lambda procedure. Okay. So whenever I'm calling this new withdraw, first time I'm calling this new withdraw, what happens? This it has been set to be as the balance to be as 100 lambda procedure. And whenever you pass the value for amount, something like this, whenever you pass a value for amount as a 10, what happens? It accesses the balance here, that is set balance, balance minus amount. What happens? The balance has been accessed. What is the balance value? Which is 100. So 100 minus 10 it does, and it makes it to be as 90. Where it makes it to be as 90? At this particular location itself, 90. Now, next time when you are calling new withdraw, same thing. New withdraw you are calling, what is what this new withdraw is having? It's having this lambda procedure. Along with this lambda procedure, what is it allocated with? It is having a variable which is balance. What is the value assigned to it? It is 90. It will not start from the let, as how you are visualizing it internally. That is not how it is working. It's like same as your for loop concept. When you are visualizing your for loop, when we are saying it's a loop, so you are expecting all the statements, all the three parts of your for loop is getting executed. But that is not what is happening, right? The initialization will happen only once. First time when you are entering the loop, only once it happens. After that, only your condition and your increment part and the body of the for loop only will be working. So it's the same concept. First time when you are calling this new withdraw, it allocates the local variable. So since it is a local variable, only it creates that. So in other words, I can say that new withdraw is something like one object. Instead of this new withdraw, I can say it to be as some person's name, I can say. Agree? With one person's name, I can define this. Say person 1, I can say person 1's balance is 100. It's the amount, this much amount that person wants to withdraw. But here also, if I define it something like this, I am able to create. That means I have to define separate different procedures for new users. I have to define it like this. So this is also not a feasible way of defining the defining the withdraw procedure. Now how I can make it to be S. So our intention is now I have to I have a bank where I will be having more users. If you define a procedure something like this, you have to define the same procedure something like this for each user. You have to create it, so which is not a feasible one. So how we can rethink about this? Based on each user, it has to have its own balance. It should take up based on that particular user. They have to decide how much should be the amount what they have to withdraw. How we can define it? We can go, yeah.
Tags we can use, right?
Tags we can use. Tags, yeah, tags. Tags we will use it when we get some information and we have to compare, right?
So you're basically asking how to implement kind of arrays in this Lisp, ma'am?
Not arrays. Here arrays also, yeah, like one way it's an array, but it's like each individual person's, like how do we create
class,
an
ma'am.
object for it?
So we have you were telling that this is an object. So every like to group the objects, you are asking like something like class.
Common procedure, general procedure. How do we write it?
Yes,
General
ma'am.
procedure. So that we can create multiple objects.
ma'am, makes sense.
So if you make a small change, instead of defining something like this, if we can define it something like this make withdraw with the balance, and this procedure itself will be returning a lambda procedure. Okay, I haven't changed anything. The procedure body of the procedure, this portion was same for all the three procedures whatever we have discussed. Only thing what we have changed is once we have used let, the other time it was like a global variable, balance was like a global variable. Now how do we call the objects? That is, now how do we call your procedures? If I call make withdraw, I'll just write it to be as MW. So if I call make withdraw, I will say some 1000. What happens?
It returns the lambda function.
It returns the lambda function. By setting the balance,
Okay.
by setting the balance to be as 1000, it just returns the lambda procedure. It doesn't give you any particular value, right? If you have to get the value, how you have to go ahead? You should have one more bracket open where you say about how much value you want to pass, right?
Yes, ma'am. Initially it was a variable and now it is a procedure.
Now it's a
So
procedure. Now, instead of calling the procedure like this, what I could do, each time I get a new user, I can set it with respect to that particular name of the object. Say ABC. Say A is my first person. I can say make withdraw. My first initial time when I create the account, I have set to be as some 5,000 is the balance initial amount what I have given. So what happens here? A is a name. What this A is going to have? A will have its own balance, which is set to be as 5,000. Will it do any kind of operation? It doesn't do any kind of operation. Why? Because it is just having the lambda procedure. To execute this, what you want, you have to pass the value for amount. If it was withdraw, then you can just say it to be as, where is my point? A of say 50. A of 50, when you say, what happens now? Balance for A is set to be as 5,000. Now it will execute the lambda procedure with respect to this. It will compare 5,000 is greater than 50. Yes. Then it will be setting 5,000 minus 50. It does. That value will be updated to this balance. And it returns the balance value. Is it clear? Now, if you want
Yes, ma'am.
another other person to be added, the other person when you create, you will just create, say,
Different amount, no,
yeah,
ma'am.
my second person. So B is my next user. So new make withdraw. That person is having the amount balance, initial amount is putting is 1,000. So B's balance is 1,000. So whenever you call with respect to A, whatever is the value, the updated value, that is 5,000 minus 50, whatever value you get, that will be the balance what you will be having. Whenever I call with respect to B, it will be 1,000. Okay. So like this, we can create different objects. Yeah.
The statement, the make withdraw 50,000 should be there, no, ma'am. Like
Make withdraw.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, correct only, ma'am. The inner one is balance and the outer one is the amount we will be withdrawing.
Mm.
Yeah, it's fine, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, clear? So now, yeah.
This whole object and process everything, it's basically like our normal program, like oops concept only, no ma'am?
Oops
Like,
concept. That's it.
okay.
Nothing else. The same C++, that oops concept, whatever you have, that same thing.
Yes.
That's what initially itself I was telling. It's better if we visualize it in terms of objects and all. For humans, it is easy. So if we can define the procedures also in that way, then it will be easy for us to handle things. Okay.
Like when we uh, initialize the balance, we have to initialize a number, right? But when we do balance as make withdraw of balance, then that is a procedure. So we are defining a variable to a procedure which will return the lambda function, which is the balance.
Like we won't be keeping track of balance is what Pridarshan is saying, I guess. We are only giving inputs of balance. In the previous programs, the program used to take care about the total balance and we used to just pass the amount, right?
You
Right.
just visualize it in terms of bank itself. How first time I mean like how you will be having a balance set. First time whenever you create an account, that time they will be create, that is your under your name, whatever username you are giving, under that particular name or under a particular ID, they will be setting a balance to it, right? So that under that ID your balance will be set. So whenever you are accessing that particular ID, that balance will be called, right? So same way, whenever you are saying
Yes,
a variable,
ma'am. Yeah,
a
now
variable's balance will be 5,000. It is not for each user we are setting different different balances, right?
So how will we call the function, ma'am? Like I have to withdraw 200 rupees from A's account.
Which user you are? Are you A
A-
user or B user?
A.
You are A user. Okay. So how much amount you want to withdraw?
Yeah, 200.
200 you want to withdraw. So initially you have created your account by setting it to be as some 5,000, right? So whenever you say A, you are having what are the functionalities which you can have it right now. Whatever with respect to the bank, I have just written the procedure only for withdrawal part. I didn't given the functionality with respect to deposit part. Okay. For A, the function what the with respect to the bank, the function what it can do is right now I have defined only the withdraw part. So keeping that, A has the function withdraw. So what this A will be having? A is just having the procedure with respect to the withdraw part. Okay, so only this withdrawal portion we have defined it. Only that particular function we have explained. Okay, so A is having the balance set to be as 5,000 and the amount what you want to withdraw is 200. So it will check 5,000 is greater than 200. It will condition will be satisfied. So you will be letting the person withdraw the amount. So 5,000 minus 200 will be done and you will be having the value set to be as 4,800. So you will be getting 200 in your pocket and your balance will be reset to be as 4,800. After 2 days, you go and you once again withdraw. Say 500. Next time you are withdrawing 500. So what happens? You are accessing with respect to your ID or with respect to your name. So here your name is A. So A you are passing and you are passing the value to be as 500. What is the function what we have defined as only with respect to withdraw part. So only thing what you can do is only withdraw you can do. So 4,800 minus 500 you will be doing. You will get 500 in your pockets and you will be your balance will be set to be as 4,300. At the same time, if B wants to withdraw some amount, because we have just discussed only with respect to withdraw part, we haven't discussed with respect to deposit or checking the balance or nothing like that. If B wants to withdraw, say B is going to withdraw with respect to some 500. So what is the balance associated with B? Will it be
Where it is
4,300
defined,
or will
ma'am?
it be 1,000?
1,000. Oh, where is it?
It will be
Yeah,
1,000
already I
because
know.
Because for a B object, the balance set is 1,000. When the person was first time creating, the balance what they have given is 1,000. So when you say B wants to withdraw 500, so it will be taken 500 and the remaining amount will be set to be as its balance. So it will be 500. Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Priyadarshan, now you tell this. I have created two objects, W1, W2. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So W1, W2 I have created.
Like how to withdraw you're asking, ma'am?
Only functionality what we have discussed right now is only with respect to withdraw. But for banking, only functionality we have discussed is withdraw part. So if, whosoever has taken this account, they can only withdraw. Okay. Now if I say W1 of 50, what happens?
Balance is, it returns 15.
It returns 50. Why? Because the balance when it, with respect to W1, whenever the balance has been accessed, it will be nothing but 100. So 100 minus 50 it does and it will return the value 50. Okay, the balance will be updated to 50 and that value will be returned. Now if I say W2 of 70,
130. It returns 130.
it returns 130 because the balance associated with W2 is 200.
Yes, ma'am. Like I know the concept, but I don't know how to call that function, withdraw function.
Withdraw function, we are calling it with respect to that same name itself. Say now see when we say W1, what is happening? Balance is set to be as 100 and your name W1 will be having nothing but that complete. You will just have this complete procedure. Wherever you had this balance, it will be replaced with 100. That's it. Here you will be having 100. Here you will be having 100. So whenever you are trying to access it with respect to W1, that particular balance will be updated here. When you are trying to access it with respect to W2, it will just have the lambda procedure returned. Wherever you had balance there, it will be replaced with 200. After this function, after withdrawing 70, it will be 130.
Ma'am, if we just call W1, like W1 and enter, it will return the current balance, right? Since it will return the lambda function.
You only tell me. Well, I'm just saying after this part, that is after doing this, I'm just saying W1, what it returns.
I mean without withdrawing 50, right?
Without withdrawing, I just said W1.
That is 100 it should return.
It will return the value 100. You will get the value 100. How
Yes,
you will
ma'am.
get the value 100?
It will return the lambda. Lambda will return the balance amount, which is 100.
For that,
So,
did the lambda is a procedure, right? Did you call, is that
yeah.
lambda procedure executed?
No. Yeah, so
Then
we have
how
to
the
pass.
balance will be returned?
It will return the procedure actually.
It will just return the procedure. It will not be executed. Whenever you are saying the names, variable names, whenever you call the objects, see, if you go to ATM card, if you are using your ATM card also, whenever you insert your ATM card, it will not give you the amount, right? Or it will not directly tell you the balance, how much you are having, right? It will ask you what function you want to use. It has displayed, it will be displaying so many functionalities and it will ask you which one you want to go ahead, which one you want to choose. Whether you want to withdraw, whether you want to deposit, whether you want to check the balance, whether you want to change the PIN, what functionality you want to use. Under your name, you have these many functions. Which one you want to choose? So same thing here also. Under this variable name W1, right now we have just discussed only with respect to withdraw part. So only thing which you have the functionality is withdraw. So once you say this much amount I want to withdraw, then only it will give you the amount and it will update the balance. Simply it will not update the balance.
Ma'am, yeah, understood.
So whenever W2's balance only will be accessed. Whenever I call with respect to W1, only W1's balance I can access. Okay.
Ma'am, so we have to use set to update again, no, ma'am, in case we want to keep updating balance. No, right? Actually, why it is getting automatically updated, ma'am?
Because we use set, right? Because we had used set. Because of that reason, it is updating.
Yeah. Then what were you telling? Like it won't get automatically updated?
Automatically, if see. See, usually till last class, how we were defining the procedure, we were not writing like this, right? We were just writing it to be as if this condition is satisfied, you would have said it to be as balance minus amount, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But if you write something like this, will your balance be updated? No, right? It just returns. For that particular instance, what was your balance value? It just returns that. But now
So
what
we
is our
have used
intention?
said. Yes,
Hmm?
ma'am. Now this is clear, ma'am. Like 2 minutes before, I was listening itself, but then lost track. You were telling it won't get automatically updated. Then I started thinking, so probably we have to set it again. But then, yeah, so you haven't said anything like that, ma'am. I'll probably check the recording then. Y- Automatically set it, nothing will be automatic, everything will be automatically set itself, no ma'am. We won't have to set it again explicitly after calling W1 and W2.
Balance will be set. For W1, whatever is the balance, that will be set.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
For
ma'am.
that, for W1, if you call with respect to the withdraw part, if you pass the value with respect to the withdraw part, how much amount, based on that amount, it will update the new value of the balance.
Okay, ma'am.
Because this portion, if you have to execute, what it won't directly execute, right? Until and unless it gets some value for this amount.
Ma'am. Now I understood. Okay, ma'am.
That is the reason why we are calling like this, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because it is a function and we are passing amount as a parameter after setting the balance initially.
Okay. Shall we break for 5 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 5 minutes we shall break, and let's now it is 11:46. Let's come back by 11:50 or 11:55.
Ma'am. 11:54.